types of traditional media. We have also discussed the means involved, the roles people they play, and the kind of social scenarios in which traditional communication takes place. And today we'll be talking about the idea or the concept of socialization, and we'll also be talking about the role of communication in socialization. And along with this, in coming classes, that is tomorrow and after tomorrow, we'll be talking about human communication. So when we say human communication, human, the you could say the center of communication is always present, no matter what kind of communication you talk about. Even if you say digital communication, or you say verbal communication, online communication, oral communication, so the idea involving human, or the fact that humans are involved, human being is involved, is always there. But then how the concept of human communication would be different? It is different when we are not talking about communication in terms of technology, when we are not talking about communication in terms of something to do with a larger group of people, something to do with expressing ourselves in social scenarios. Human communication in more general sense is understanding the need of a human being to communicate. So when we'll be talking about human communication, it will be more psychological and more personal. So we'll talk about that tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Today we'll be talking about the concept of socialization. So the first thing that starts from here is that what do you mean by socialization? Socialization से मतलब क्या है? The concept that talks about socialization is that when a human being is born, जब कोई इंडिविजुअल जो है वो पैदा होता है, एक छोटा बेबी जन्म लेता है, then the baby is more like an organism. तब वो एक ऑर्गेनिज्म की तरह है, तब वो सिर्फ एक जीवित ऑर्गेनिज्म की तरह है जिसके अंदर लाइफ है। लेकिन वो एक सोसाइटी का, एक समाज का हिस्सा तब बनता है जब वो समाज के साथ इंटरेक्शन शुरू करता है, यानी कि उस समाज के साथ कम्युनिकेशन शुरू करता है। So this is the process of socialization. So when a new born baby comes into contact with the society he has taken birth into, and he starts learning, he starts interacting, he starts communicating with this society, and this society involves his family. This society also involves the neighborhood. This society also involves the relatives, the friends that he'll be making, the choices that he'll be making, the kind of roles he'll be playing. This is the entire process of socialization, and this process is a never ending process, because till the time you live a life socially, you are engaged in this process of socialization. It ends only either by living your life and dying, or it happens when you isolate yourself to an extent that you become more saintly, and you start living an isolated life, you start living a saintly life, and you are no more a part of the society. Even in that sense, somebody, you would be meeting somebody, you would be having some kind of exchanges, so you'll still be a part of the society and the socialization. But it is more like a complex never ending process. Now the point comes that why do we need to study it? This is more like a very general common process. Then why are we talking about it? And specifically while studying mass communication or while studying journalism, why we are talking about it? The point is this, that when you go professionally into a field like communication, into a field like journalism, you need to understand what kind of socialization is happening or is taking place in your society. And why do you need to understand it? So that you understand the relationship between people and the society, relationship between people and the governance, between people and the economy, between people and the culture, people and the religion. This is how you will be able to observe the events that will be happening, you will be able to report the events that will be happening, and you will be able to understand whether one thing should be criticized or should not be criticized, should be more kind of supported, should be more encouraged. So when you see a female going to a school in a remote area, and people are cheering that females and especially young girls can go to school, you will appreciate that act. Why will you appreciate? Because you do realize that in Indian traditional society, especially in remote places of traditional societies of Rajasthan, or traditional societies of more North Indian places, you will see that females, they have a very less opportunity to go to school. And why is it so? Because we have been living more in a patriarchal society. So in such cases, when you will see your society evolving and giving more chances to females, you appreciate it, and you more likely to support it, encourage it. And this is something you understand because you understand Indian society. But if you go to a Western society, or if you go to other societies apart from yours, then you will see different ideas, then you will see people playing different roles, then you will see different versions of how the society is. You will see different ideas attached to marriage, different ideas attached to genders, different ideas attached to how the community actions should take place, how the religious activities should take place. Some of the countries in the world, they don't allow you to publicly claim what religion do you practice and to openly be vocal about it. But there will be societies which would be appreciating you if you are vocal about your religious activities, because they will believe you to be a good man, the one who fulfills his religious responsibilities. So this is important, understanding socialization, specifically being somebody who would be becoming future journalist, who would be becoming future communicator. You need to understand what kind of society is there in which you live, how do you socialize yourself, how do others they have socialized themselves, and what kind of changes in this socialization would be more appreciated, and what kind of changes, sorry, what kind of ideas should be criticized in order to make them turn into some more productive and better things. This is the reason why we should study. And now, talking about what do you mean by socialization, coming to the point of understanding socialization, in very simple definition, the act of socialization means that from just a newly born organism, socialization means that you become more responsive to the society, you become more interactive with the society, you learn what kind of roles you need to fulfill, what kind of actions you should do, how what kind of food you should be eating, what kind of activities you should be doing, how people they behave around you. And you also learn language with this process of socialization. You also learn what kind of clothes to wear, what kind of activities to do, everything that you think is a part of your identity is learned through this process of socialization. Even what you see yourself in mirror is also a result of socialization. आप जो अपने आप को शीशे में यानी कि मिरर में देखते हैं, वो भी सोशलाइजेशन का ही हिस्सा है. You know that you're wearing a cap, you know that now you're wearing a cowboy cap, and now you're wearing this cap because you have interacted with the society, you have learned the terms, you have learned how to wear it, and that is why, that is how you understand things. So you have learned from the society that society doesn't mean that somebody who is just outside or external to you. Society also makes up for your family. So you have learned from people that when you wake up early in the morning, the first thing that you do is that you brush up your teeth, you go and wash your face. So cleaning yourself, this idea is also that you learn from the society. So everything that belongs to you, your identity, this is some kind of interaction between you and the society. It is a result of that. Each one of us has an identity which has resulted on the basis of our interaction with the society. And that is why, because this interaction is important, because this interaction is at the soul of the process of socialization, and that is why communication is very important for socialization. Communication is the tool that helps in the survival of culture, in the formation of culture, in the integration of multicultures together. And so communication is the tool which is allowing you to socialize. How do you socialize? You talk to people, you become a part of some kind of ritual, you celebrate festivals together, you meet them, you greet them, and then you mix up with them, you do certain activities together, you follow a certain kind of timetable in your neighborhood. Timetable doesn't mean that you go by the clock. Timetable means that you have a routine, that everyone around you, goes out, do this kind of things in the morning, then in the evening you have a habit of gathering around, or maybe talking, maybe your mother's day, gather around, they have some kind of conversation. Yeah. So these kind of basic interaction and communication, everything that you do like this, it helps you in learning the process of and becoming a part of the process of socialization. Is it clear? Hello? Okay, so now I'll be giving you few ideas. What kind of things do we learn? First thing is that we learn from the society is the kind of roles that we need to play. So you know that you are a girl and you have to be a sister to your brother. You have to be a daughter to your mother and father. In future you might be getting married and you'll be a wife to somebody, and these kind of social roles. Now, I'm not talking about individually what you would like to do, but here I'm talking about the social roles. So, the social roles that being a female you have to fulfill, you learn it from your society. So, if you go to a northeastern society where they have matriarchal system instead of patriarchal, then you also know that you won't be marrying off and leaving your home. The husband would be marrying you and coming to your place. So, these opposing ideas, you learn it from the society, and then you become comfortable also with these ideas. So if you go to a society where the girl doesn't leave, the boy comes, maybe you'll not be comfortable with that kind of idea. Maybe you will feel it to be a little awkward, and that is why people, they talk about marrying young girls and boys into similar culture, into similar religion, because the similar religion and similar culture will help them in understanding the process of the socialization. So this is important. Not to say that you should never try something which is not from your society. This is to say that socialization or communication that you have with your society, it allows you to take up some particular kind of roles, and your mind, you yourself as an individual becomes comfortable with such kind of roles. And uh, trying something new might be sometimes interesting, but might be sometimes difficult also, especially when you are forced to do that. So this is one thing, you learn how to behave, you learn that you need to greet your elders, and then you also learn how to greet them. You have to fold your hands, or you have to touch their feet, or you have to just go and bow down. What kind of things do you need to do to greet your elders, and whom do you need to greet, whom do you need to treat more you could say more politely, more humbly, with more respect, and how do you need to treat your youngsters. So these kind of things that you learn from your society. And then also that the civic sense, the basic civic sense, not the civic sense that you learn from your school and from the books, but the basic civic sense. If you live in a society where you clean, where you keep your roads clean, where you don't throw garbage on road, where you know that you need to plant more trees, where you have seen water bodies to be cleaned and properly maintained, you learn such ideas, and then you're not okay when these things are not done. But if you're coming from a society where it's okay to see garbage on road, where you have been living with such kind of condition and nobody pays attention to it, nobody bothers about what is happening, then you don't even realize that sometimes you do throw garbage, you do throw paper on road. So such kind of very small things, and bigger things where you know how to think about your governance, what kind of economic activities you can do. If you're coming from this kind of culture, this kind of society, it's okay for you to go and do business. But if you're coming from a different society, different culture, maybe having a more fixed or more properly maintained service or job is more important for you. So you learn very specific things from your society. Some societies allow you to be more open in terms of your career choice, some societies make it very rigid for you. You can see in Indian societies and different regional Indian societies that some of the people would be expecting you to just uh, take out for science discipline, go into lines like doctor and engineers, and become something like maybe a future engineer or doctor, or secure some kind of government job, because they won't be expecting you to have some kind of experiment with your career. And there will be societies which will be more open with that. There will be societies which would like you to learn some kind of basic dance or music activities, and there will be societies which will allow you to go into sports field. So you do have impact of your society, the way it lives, the way it allows you to live your life, and the way it expects and accepts you. So these kind of activities are very much important from the point of view of socialization. So the first thing that we learn from society or the act of socialization is the roles that we play. Then the thing that we learn is how to control our behavior. Controlling behavior means that when you talk about roles that have to be played, you also learn what things you cannot do, what things you are allowed to do, and what things you're not allowed to do. So these things, and when I'm talking about not allowed to do, doesn't mean only the wrong things. Sometimes you're not allowed to do even normal things. For example, sometimes being a female of a typical Indian family, maybe you will won't be allowed to go out and do job. Maybe you would be expected to study and then to just get married. Or maybe being an elderly female in some of the traditional Indian societies, specifically in few of Punjabi families, you will see that the female of the house is the one who takes the charge of the family in terms of decision making. So you have different ideas. It's not just that you will see gender discrimination only going against females. You also see people giving them the responsibility of take care of everything that is done. So that could happen. You can see different ideas, so you need to control different things when you are in your society. Maybe you'll not be given vehicles in a particular age. Maybe you'll be expected to do certain kind of activities. Maybe you'll be stopped from doing certain activities. So this controlling, you might be liking to do something, but you need to control because you have to maintain yourself to be a part of the society. Maybe you would like to just try something with your outfits. You would like to wear something different, but your society doesn't allow that kind of dress to be worn in public areas. So then what will you do? You will, maybe you will rebel, or you will just move out the way you want, or maybe you will do a very normal compromise, and you will wear something which the society expects, sorry, accepts. So the point is this, that I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm saying that your act of socialization, the way you interact, obviously the way you communicate, it changes the way you socialize. If your communication is rebellious, you will be definitely changing the way your society is. And maybe more people are rebellious in a society, the society is definitely going to have some kind of conflict between traditional and rebellious new generation, and then the society will evolve. That is how societies evolve. That is how societies, they accept that now you will see young boys and girls choosing their own partners, and they also, society is also starting to accept more third gender relationships. So this being opening up, accepting what youngsters are doing, accepting what the new generation is doing, this is happening because slowly and slowly more number of youngsters are adding up to this population, where you will see rebellion, where you will see people coming out and speaking what they really want to do in their life. So you do learn how to control your behavior, you learn the kind of roles you have to play, and then you also learn discipline. Discipline is basically where discipline doesn't mean that waking up early or sleeping early. Discipline means when you follow certain kind of routine, certain kind of things that have to be done in order to maintain the smoothness of the way your life is, maintaining the better parts of your life, bringing it to a level where you can say that you're living a good life. So that is discipline. And when you say self discipline, that is you are controlling yourself on your own. When you say somebody else is imposing discipline on you, like an organization and institute, then this is more like external discipline being imposed on you. So when you talk about socialization, society also tries to teach you discipline. Discipline comes from the word disciple. Disciple is the one who kind of accepts the orders, accepts the commands given by the teacher, by the guru. So when you become disciplined from the side or from the section of the society, then you start taking commands from the society. And these commands are not coming that you have one family which is society and that family is telling you. No, society is not one or two people. Society is everyone except you that is there out there in the world and living somewhere near you in the type and space frame. So this thing that you learn from the society, that is discipline. It is you could say it is the voice of the society telling you that this is how you need to live your life, this is what is accepted in the society, this is what will get approval in the society, and this is what will not be accepted, will not be given approval, and you would be required to fight for it, and maybe you will be expelled from the society. So these kind of things that you learn from the society, that comes in discipline. And then the last thing that you learn from the society is the idea of formally and informally learning how to live. When we say formally, we are talking about organizations like schools and colleges and offices where you work. So formally you are told this is the protocol of the school, this is the protocol of the organization, you have to follow this, you have to come at 10 a.m., you have to come at 9 a.m., then you'll be free by 5 a.m. These are the formal places where you learn how to behave, how to live. And informal places are like your neighborhood, like your colony, like your family, where you don't have to be formal, but informally also you do have things that you need to learn. You do have instructions that you need to taken care of, and then you need to act accordingly. And act accordingly doesn't mean that you have to bow down and say yes to everything. Act accordingly means that you have to understand what is happening, you have to understand how, why and how people are telling you to do certain things, and then you have to apply your own brain and decide whether you'll be doing this or you'll not be doing this. And if you're not doing certain things, then you need to figure out the reasons, and if that seems valid, you also need to raise your voice and try to bring the change in the society. Okay. Okay, so now let's move further. Then we'll be talking about the types of socialization. So before talking about types of socialization, I will stress again on the point that here we are talking about role of communication in socialization. So everything that we are talking about, everything that we are discussing here is certainly talking about communication. यानी कि हम जिस भी बारे में बात कर रहे हैं वो हर चीज बात करती है कि कैसे हम कम्युनिकेट करके ही सोशलाइज करते हैं। यानी कि जब तक कम्युनिकेशन नहीं होगा हमारे और हमारे फैमिली के बीच, हमारे और समाज के बीच, हमारे और लोग जो आसपास हैं, चाहे वो आपके नेबर्स हैं, चाहे वो आपके आसपास के आपके फ्रेंड सर्कल है जो आपकी कॉलोनी में ही या आसपास के एरिया में डेवलप हो जाता है। सो इट कुड बी एनीबडी। तो ये जो आसपास के आपको पूरा सोसाइटी जो है आपकी, इससे ही आप कम्युनिकेट करते हैं, इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, और ये इंटरेक्शन ही जरिया बनती है सोशलाइज्ड होने का. एंड दैट इज वाई यू आर एज सोशलाइज्ड एज योर सोसाइटी इज, you are as evolved as your society is. So if you're coming from a modern society, then you can call yourself modern. Okay, if you that doesn't mean that you can never rebel and change the way you are. You can definitely, but even for that you would be required to come in contact with something which is more liberal, more secular, or maybe more modern, and then you would be required to go into the process of re-socialization. So again, socialization would be required for you to even change the way you have been living your life till now. So socialization is something which rests on the फाउंडेशन ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. कम्युनिकेशन के फाउंडेशन पे ही सोशलाइजेशन जो है उसकी बिल्डिंग खड़ी होती है. और कम्युनिकेशन के बिना आप किसी भी तरह का सामाजिक कार्य जो है उसको होते हुए नहीं देख सकते और ना ही उसको समझ सकते हैं. जस्ट इमेजिन दैट you go and talk to shopkeeper in your neighborhood or in your locality. You communicate, you talk to your family, you communicate. Even if you don't talk, you are maybe you have a day where your mood is off, so the way your body gestures, the way your facial expressions are telling people, they will be understanding what kind of mood you have. So even your gestures, they communicate. The way you talk to your neighbors, the way you interact with them, even if you don't talk to them, okay, you don't like much talking to people, you are an introvert, so even that kind of communication will give you certain feedback from them, which will help you in changing the things that are around you and in accepting the things that are around you. So everything, the way you interact, the way you communicate, is the basis of socialization. Now, talking about the types, the first one is primary socialization. Primary socialization is the socialization that happens at the level of, you could say, at a very beginning level, in the very first 1 or 2 years of your being born as an infant. जो छोटी छोटी आप लैंग्वेज और कॉग्निटिव स्किल्स सीखते हैं उसको प्राइमरी सोशलाइजेशन बोलते हैं. और यहाँ पर हम फैमिली को इसलिए नहीं जोड़ रहे हैं बिकॉज it is not necessary that always you are around your family during those years. Maybe for some reason you have to be left to be taken care of by somebody else. Maybe somebody is doing babysitting, then you are not staying with your family. So this could be in terms of being living in certain societies where the mother and father, they both go to job and you are at home all alone, or maybe you're with some kind of somebody who's taking giving you care, taking care of you, feeding you milk, just like that. So primary socialization doesn't mean that it has to be the family always. It is about learning the basic language and cognitive skills, the idea of learning basic memory gaining skills, basic information processing skills, and language skills. And then secondary socialization comes from your family and your peer group. That is your instant people that are around you, those who live their life around you, and your life and their life is very much interconnected. And then comes the idea of adult socialization. Adult socialization is more like the formal socialization, where you go and become a part of some organization, where you go and enter into roles like universities and colleges, and you learn different things. So that is adult socialization. And then it also involves becoming a partner to somebody, becoming a husband or becoming a wife or becoming a parent. So you also learn different other roles which you have not learned till now. And then the next one is anticipatory socialization. Anticipatory or socialization means that here you start working on making your beliefs to be more, I'll not say rigid, but more firm. यहाँ ये वो एज है जब आपकी you are married, you have kids, or even if you are not married, then you have reached to a certain age where you start believing in what you believe, okay, giving more firmness to your ideas, giving more solidity to your ideas. And The last one is resocialization. Resocialization means that you move to a society, or maybe you learn about other ideas, and you learn about other cultural ideas, you learn about social ideas, community ideas, and then you get in, you meet different people, you interact with them, you communicate with them, and then you start resocializing, changing the way you are. Also, this is something very typical to happen, because people, when they just not simply start re-socialization socializing, they give a fight to it. A fight to it means that you have been living your life in a certain way, and now you meet somebody who has a very different idea of life. So it will be very rare that you will meet that person and accept what he's doing or she is doing at the very first moment. First of all, you will not like it, maybe you will not accept what the other person is doing, and then maybe after some time, after giving some kind of having some kind of interaction, having some kind of communication, you start knowing that the things are better. So you start accepting them, and then you start accepting the transition also. You start accepting the changes that other socialization is having on you, and then you change. So this is a long process, and this happens very rare, and in a very complex scenario where you accept and you give up on the fight that your mind is fighting for the socialization that you are a part of. तो ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हमेशा ये अच्छा या बुरा ही हो रीसोशलाइजेशन। रीसोशलाइजेशन अच्छा भी हो सकता है और बुरा भी हो सकता है। You come from a family where you don't take alcohol and drugs, and then you become a part of the part of the group where they take it, so this could be wrong. Or if it is vice versa, or it is something else, you come from a family where they don't allow the females to take up different roles in their family, but you go and meet a girl who is, who is of more modern ideas, and then you accept her, and then you also accept the kind of changes that she is bringing to your life. So that is could be a good way of resocializing. So the ideas of good and bad could apply to different particular scenarios, but the point is this, that this always comes with the fight. Whether it's for good, it's for bad, you just don't accept it on the first go. You give a fight to it. Why do you give? Because your mind doesn't accept something which is foreign or alien to it. It needs to come to a level of comfort and then accept it. Okay.